The Possession of Hannah Grace stars Shay Mitchell and Kirby Johnson and Stana Katic. I hope that's how you say her name. She was the main female lead in Castle. And some assorted characters in a so by the numbers horror movie that, my God, you might as well had a goddamn bingo card. Oh, hey, bad backstory, creepy shit that's going on, comic relief that gets offed, all this kind of stuff. I'll get into spoilers a little bit later, but there's if you've seen the trailer, nothing in this movie will shock you. I mean, even if you haven't seen the trailers, you would really have to go in having never seen a horror movie to not be, or to be, shocked by anything in this. So, briefly recap the plot. In the very beginning, there's an exorcism gone bad. There's priests trying to save this one young girl, Hannah, who's been possessed by a demon. They don't ever go into who the demon is. They don't ever go whether it's the devil, whether it's just a demon, whether whatever it is. And basically her body ends up at this morgue, and Shay Mitchell, who plays Megan, is the new, is a new woman that has taken over, that is head of, the morgue at a Boston Metro Hospital. Now, I actually recognize some of the locations here because I was in Boston and surrounding areas, so I do recognize some of the areas here. So it was actually pretty accurate geographically. But so you got Megan, and she's got a tough backstory. The reason she took this job is because she lost her job as a cop after seeing her partner get shot and her doing nothing. She pretty much lost her job because she was self-medicating with booze and pills because she couldn't handle the fact that she didn't save her partner, didn't draw her gun, all that stuff. So she's disgraced, but she's trying to get back on her feet. She's lost her boyfriend, all this stuff. A lot of this is neatly encapsulated in a backstory thing and everything, but nothing I'm saying is necessarily going to spoil this. What really ends up going down is Hannah's body ends up at this morgue, and because, she was possessed by a demon, well, what do you think's going to happen? I mean, have you seen the trailer? Yeah, that's what's basically going to happen. There's going to be a whole lot of creepy shit going on that's taking place at a morgue, and there's a whole bunch of, weird lighting and weird mood stuff and some music cues and so many goddamn jump scares and so many stock one-dimensional characters that this was fucking bad. This was really goddamn fucking bad. I mean, I cannot get over how terrible this was. Now, I've seen worse movies. This is not as bad as Truth or Dare, and it's funny because Shay Mitchell's Pretty Little Liars co-star, Lucy Hale, was in Truth or Dare, and I pretty much hated that one. But basically, everything's by the numbers after this. Once Megan realizes that this body may not actually be dead, there's so many stock things and ridiculous stuff, and the editing is ridiculous. There's so many times where it seems like scenes and chunks are just goddamn missing, and I just don't understand it. I just don't understand how the studio, Sony, Screen Gems, how they could have thought releasing this would have actually worked. Now, the movie probably didn't cost all that much. It'll probably end up making a mint, or at least its budget back. But yeah, this was really, really terrible. I mean, none of the acting was particularly bad, I will say that much. Any of the cast, they did the best they could. The writing was terrible, the direction wasn't all that good. It was just such a basic horror movie that really all you're going to get is you're just going to get something where it's like, if you're just going expecting to be entertained, it is aggressively boring. I will say that much. There wasn't one time I jumped. I had a friend with me, she did jump a few times. But it was what it was. I'm not going to fault her for that. So I'm just getting the spoilers right here. So yeah, don't see it. Just listen to this review or watch this review. 3, 2, 1, go. So Hannah Grace's body, the reason her body is found there, the reason that exorcism goes wrong is after this priest is dispatched and killed in a pretty gruesome fashion. The father who's there, Hannah's father, smothers her with a pillow. Okay, whatever. I mean, that's one way. I guess holy water can't take care of it. And, chants, prayer, the cross can't take care of that. But put a pillow over them, which I guess maybe the pillow was soaked in holy water. I don't know. They didn't explain that stuff. But you get Megan's backstory and everything, which is basic. Shay Mitchell plays her role just fine. She's got a boyfriend also. He plays his role just fine. Nobody is particularly offensive with their acting here. Like, everybody's just literally given a few scenes, and then so many damn people are killed. And everybody has the same damn death scene. The priest at one point, like, the priest in the beginning gets like, the whole thing where he's like doing his and then he gets thrown back and gets thrown into the thing. Every single death in this movie is the demon doing that. Hannah, or the person, the demon that took over Hannah's body, is just doing that where it's like, and they're screaming. And it's some of the most ridiculous stuff. Fortunately, it didn't have the Wilhelm scream in it, but that's neither here nor there. My main issue with this movie is you have this concept where the demon, the girl's smothered, so her body's smothered, and the body's burned and this kind of stuff. The body ends up in the morgue 3 months later, and you're wondering, well, how the hell did that happen? Well, it turns out that somebody was trying to dispose of the body, and it was the dad. And the dad's trying to get at the body because the dad knows that the demon's going to wake up and try to heal itself. How's the demon going to heal itself? By killing people, killing the most stock characters in the world, including this one guy, this really, really short white Afro kid, or, guy that I swear I didn't know they let children be security guards. This one black cop or security guard. I didn't catch the actor's name. He was fine. And no actors are particularly bad. There's a very, very small cast in this movie. I mean, as far as name people, I think there were maybe like 10 people that they had that really got any like serious amount of, screen time beyond like one scene where they got dispatched. But from the you have the one day Megan gets introduced to her job. Okay, cool. She does running. She's going to her AA meeting. She's trying to stay clean, this kind of stuff. She had a bad breakup with her boyfriend, who's a Boston cop, but is still trying to check up on her because he still does care, but he just couldn't be with her. more stereotypical shit. And then on the second day, they get this body, Hannah's body, and all this shit starts to go down, basically, and everybody gets killed. From any scene where you say, oh, somebody's like, hey, can you take over for me while I do something? The equipment's shutting down and can't check the fingerprints. It can't scan the body. Gee, I wonder why. But Megan thinks it's just her imagination and a whole bunch of shit. Well, it doesn't turn out to be that. While trying to help get this other body, help this paramedic get this other body in, Hannah's dad gets in there, and he's all grizzled and stuff like that because he's pretty much gone off the deep end because he's trying to dispose of the body. Well, that doesn't end up happening. He gets taken away by cops, and then he gets back in there at some point. It just, no logic was applied to this movie at all. Somehow he manages to get in there and then just hides for seemingly like a couple hours. And the lights are motion censored, or at least the vast majority of lights are motion censored. You can't believe that somebody wouldn't have found a way to, hey, maybe we should check the security cameras to see, oh, hey, there's some weird hooded guy that we probably should take care of, but nah, we're only 2 security guards in a giant hospital. We can't possibly do anything. Yeah, this was aggressively shit. And everything, like I said, the thing I said about the editing with garden chairs, you had like the white Afro, character, Dave, and I kept constantly quoting Dave's Not Here, Man, from the Cheech and Chong sketch. He gets killed in the most generic way possible, and everybody's just, doing that. And everybody's one-dimensional. You don't care about anybody. Nobody had an offensive performance, but everything was just, my God, what was this? The body horror stuff was, it was okay. They never really explained beyond the demon healing itself what the demon necessarily does. It's just a demon, which, okay, the less you explain, maybe the scarier it is. The problem is, that isn't the case here. It was not a scary movie. I did not jump once. Nobody was particularly bad in this movie as far as acting, but my God, every bit of scare was just sucked out of this. And there are these 2 incinerator scenes that are absolutely ridiculous. Later on in the movie, Hannah's dad manages to get back into the area somehow, back into the morgue, and basically him and Megan get, she's like convinced, okay, I believe you, and this is after a few people have died. They try to get her to the incinerator, and literally the cut is like that, and suddenly the dad's being, put on the gurney into the incinerator, which that's not how incinerators work. And Hannah starts coming after her, or whatever took over Hannah. And then you got this, and then you got another incinerator scene later, but I'll get to that in a second. But she finally stands, Megan finally stands up for herself after everybody's died, including her AA sponsor, which was the girl from Castle. She died in ridiculous fashion because she did the same thing because she was up on the roof. Because the best idea and the best way to get away from a demon is to run up on the roof where you got no goddamn escape. So yeah, Megan finally stands up for herself, shoots the demon a bunch, which I guess apparently shooting a body with a demon in there can work. And then tries to incinerate her, and then almost gets dragged in there, and these flames are leaping out. And how in the world was Megan not fucking, burned alive also? I mean, that's one, incinerators. I don't necessarily think that's how they work exactly, but so many logic loopholes and so much ridiculousness, which I could overlook if the movie was entertaining, but it wasn't. It was aggressively boring, aggressively bad. It F easily, poll up there. I'll probably, in fact, the poll will probably be at the beginning of the thing, but just in case, poll up there. You can vote on it. Is it the worst movie I've seen of the year? No, that's still Slender Man, Truth or Dare, but it's going to be in the top 5 for sure. This was very, very bad with glimpses of potential, and that's probably the most frustrating thing about it. To me, it's like Strangers Pray at Night. Glimpses of potential, whole bunch of bullshit. So yeah, nothing... No offensive performances. Nobody was acting bad. Everybody was just a generic stock character where certain ones were going to live and most everybody was going to die. And it was a small cast, which probably was a smart thing. Maybe they thought they were building tension, but they weren't. Anyway, that's what I got to say. Agree, disagree with what I said. Like, share, subscribe. Twitter handle in the descriptions. Been Real Honesty with John Redblin. Fuck this movie. Fuck the possession of Hannah Grace. I will see you soon.